What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Just got out of the city dump after throwing away my heater and my air conditioner from my house. But counting down the days into the Royal Rumble, and there's a pretty big rumor going around out there that's a little too hot not to touch. Yesterday, there was a lot of smoke out there. That WWE, in a way of kind of like trying to find a way to put together Wrestlemania 39, for a little over a year now, we've really been thinking that the main event guy for Wrestlemania 39 in Los Angeles would be The Rock. And a lot of signs as of right now sort of says that The Rock is not going to be available for Wrestlemania 39. He wasn't on Raw 30th anniversary. He's not going to be at the Royal Rumble, and he's not going to be there for WrestleMania. I don't know if something came up in Hollywood, if he's going to be making a movie or a TV show. I'm not sure if maybe the coming and going and coming again of Vince McMahon scared him off, that he maybe thinks that working with WWE with Vince McMahon there is going to be some sort of bad publicity for him. He's kind of a guy that's always kind of sniffing around to make sure that his image is going to stay as like that perfect kind of guy. It really could be anything. Maybe he kind of got scared off at the fact that he's going to be losing, but he's done everything to publicize Roman versus Rock for 2 years, at least. They put it as like a throwaway line on young Rock, with them introducing the character of Roman Reigns as a young child, basically saying that someday they would wrestle, and the only way that they could wrestle is in doing it in front of close to 100,000 fans at WrestleMania. That was kind of like, hey, this has got to happen. That was the way of doing it. But as a way to try and give WWE and wrestling fans the biggest event that they could with the biggest stars possible, it was reported yesterday that it was thrown out that Stone Cold Steve Austin was made a big money offer to come in to WrestleMania and have a match against Roman Reigns. That would be for either the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship. Lots of things to point out. Normally the champion fights the winner of the Royal Rumble. Is Stone Cold gonna be in the Rumble? Is there a chance Stone Cold wins the Royal Rumble? Does Stone Cold Steve Austin just show up and this match happens? A lot like last year when he came to WrestleMania in Dallas. He was only supposed to be a part of the KO show with Kevin Owens. And basically a challenge is thrown out, or are we going to fight, or what are we doing here? They've been going back and forth on social media long enough to the point of like, what are we doing? And Stone Cold and Kevin Owens had a match. Stone Cold had his hand raised. Stone Cold even came out the next night after the Pat McAfee match and gave a Stone Cold stunner. He didn't. I know he gave one to Vince. I'm pretty sure he even gave one to Pat McAfee, just for, good times. I guess is the only reason why he did it. But Kevin Owens is one of the marquee superstars. He's actually headlining the Royal Rumble pay-per-view against Roman Reigns. He's not nobody. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin has gotten back in the ring. It took him, what was his last match? WrestleMania 19. So it took him 20 years to get back out there. And, when he did, he took on one of the main guys in WWE and beat his ass in Stone Cold Steve Austin fashion. The one thing that I can kind of point at more than anything else is that, we just had the anniversary of Monday Night Raw. It was the 30th anniversary. They had a big to-do. They brought back Ric Flair. They brought back Hulk Hogan. DX came out for like the 1,000th time in the last year, and they made a big deal about it. When you think about Monday Night Raw, when you think about what made Monday Night Raw must-see TV, how Monday Night Raw beat WCW. For a point, it really looked like WWE was going down the drains. I mean, if you listen to the Bruce Pritchard podcast, if you listen to, reasons why Brett had his huge contract, his 20-year deal, and why Vince had to break it, was WCW was beating WWE so bad. Vince was going to scale back his company. He was going to be run as a Northeast promotion, and he was no longer going to be able to go up against WCW. They were getting their ass kicked that bad. But the reason why they, the reason why they wanted to run, against WCW, and why they wanted to keep going, was because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin is easily the biggest superstar in the history of the WWE. He's probably the biggest superstar in the history of Monday Night Raw, and he wasn't there. Why wasn't he there? Is he a surprise, for the Royal Rumble? Is he a surprise for WrestleMania? Austin has done, 316 day. He's done Raw 1000s. He's done Raw 25th anniversaries. What was the anniversary where that was Raw Homecoming, when they just changed channels. He came back for that. He stunned all the McMahons there. Don't give me that they didn't have anything on the table for him to do. Stone Cold can come back and hand out stunners to anybody. When he came out for 316 day back in 2020, he was there to give stunners to the Street Profits. I mean, the Street Profits, Montez Ford is a really good wrestler. He gets a lot of people excited about the future of WWE, but they're not in the league of Stone Cold Steve Austin giving stunners to somebody, you know what I mean? Becky Lynch being out there drinking beers with them at the end of the show, that made sense, because Becky Lynch is the biggest female superstar in WWE right now. But come on, I mean, he could have came back and he could have been going toe-to-toe with Hulk Hogan to open the show. We all did that for WrestleMania 30, and we were fucking blitzed. That was one of the coolest openings of WrestleMania that I can tell you that I've seen. You got three of the biggest superstars out there. You got The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Hulk Hogan all going toe-to-toe with trying to say who the biggest superstar of all time is. But, why wasn't he on the show? To me, there's smoke, there's fire here. Basically, why did WWE not bring him in? Why was there no story about Stone Cold turning him down? When Stone Cold's asked to do something, if he doesn't think that, the writing or the booking, the reason why he's going to be there, and he's not coming, he lets us know. Whether if that's on just dropping a tweet, putting it on Instagram, talking on his podcast, he's just, hey, they asked me to do something, I didn't like it, that's the way it is. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin has done enough things in his career, walking out on WWE in 2002, that if he's not going to do something, he's just not going to do it, and he doesn't care what anybody thinks about it. He's in a point in his life, he doesn't have to do this shit no more. But if they're going to drop a whole bunch of money on the table and say, hey, come do this, he's going to come do it. Not that many months ago, I made a video. Stone Cold Steve Austin was getting ripped on Instagram. He was working out in the gym. He was working out on his, what do you call it? Like, he doesn't have a bus, but he's got it's motorhome. He put a gym in his motorhome that he can, stay on his regimen when he's driving around doing things. And to me, he just didn't look like Stone Cold Steve Austin just woke up one day and didn't like the way he looked, so he wanted to get into shape. Stone Cold Steve Austin's getting into Stone Cold Steve Austin fighting shape. That boy's going to WrestleMania. I told you back then, I thought it was at the perfect time when it looked like CM Punk was going to get released from AEW. He hasn't got released yet. I think the one reason, more often than not, I think CM Punk's done in AEW. Tony Khan doesn't want to let him go because Tony Khan doesn't want CM Punk walking into WrestleMania doing something for WWE when they're the ones that talked him into coming back, getting him fired up about, feeling good about wrestling, and he doesn't want to lose him. He's trying anything to keep him right now. So Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk was a match that a lot of people were looking forward to for a long time 10 years ago. We thought, there was a chance we'd see something at 27, maybe 28, even push towards the 30 to keep Punk in WWE at the time. Punk wants to headline WrestleMania. Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin makes sense to headline WrestleMania to me. So we're going to have to see, Roman Reigns versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is it going to happen? Does that make sense? We're going to have to see. I think there's a lot going on here. I just do. I've said it 1,000 times. Where there's smoke, there's going to be a fire. That fire, Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. It's going to be against Roman Reigns. We're going to have to see. But I think that's the biggest match that Stone Cold could hang on his career. Put his hat on the hat rack at the end of the day, hang those boots up. Even if he's doing the honors, putting over Roman Reigns, that's one hell of a way to go out.